The disease that turns people to stone. Hello and welcome to the channel. Imagine waking up one morning and your body has decided, completely unprompted, to install extra bones. Not in the places you're supposed to have bones. In places like your arm muscles, your back, maybe even your tongue. No, this isn't the plot of a new Marvel villain. This is a real medical condition that slowly turns muscle into bone. A disease so rare, so strange, and so dramatic that it sounds like science fiction. Except for the hundreds of real people who live with it. And let's not forget Lot's wife in the Bible, who got turned to stone. I wonder if she had the condition I'm about to discuss here. Fascinating when biblical stories can be concretized, pardon the pun, with medical science. I am Askadoc, resident doctor, and your favorite bringer of medical nightmares wrapped up in fun facts. And today on Askadoc, we are diving into the disease that turns people to stone, aka fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, or FOP if you don't enjoy tongue twisters. Yeah, let's dive into this. It's an interesting topic, albeit rare. So, normally, bones belong in very specific locations in the body, right? Like, ideally, inside your body, attached to the correct things. But in FOP, the body misreads the assignment. Muscles, they turn to bone. Tendons, they turn to bone. Ligaments, they turn to bone. Any free space in your body, believe it or not, it all turns to bone. With FOP, the body starts to build a second skeleton inside the soft tissues, like muscles, like ligaments, tendons, slowly restricting movement until a person becomes trapped in bone armory of their own making. On the dramatic scale, it's a 12 out of 10. On the convenient scale, 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. The big science bit. So what exactly is FOP? It's a genetic mutation in a gene called ACVR1. For those of us who are interested in genetics. The normal job of ACVR1 is to help regulate bone growth, like in a normal adult. But the mutated FOP version of ACVR1, its mandate is, I heard bone growth, so I just started blasting away. And blasting it does. Blasting, by the way, is a little inside joke. Osteoblasts are the cells that create bone, that form bone. Even tiny injuries like bruises, vaccinations, muscle strain, or even viral infections can accidentally trigger the body to start building bone, where bone should normally never exist. Think of it like this. Normal body, muscle stays muscle. But in FOP body, muscle becomes bone. Normal body, injury causes healing with soft tissue. FOP body, injury causes panic, osteoblasts get activated, builds bone. Normal body, repair mode exists. FOP body, overambitious DIY home renovation doesn't exist. Everything just turns to bone. no repair possible. It's like the body has a construction crew with unlimited budget and zero supervision. Now, how rare are we talking? I do talk about a lot of rare diseases on this channel, but this one has bragging rights. FOP occurs in about 1 in 2 million people. That means you're more likely to be struck by lightning twice while holding a winning lottery ticket on your birthday before you get FOP. Thank God for that. In this particular situation, we have about, let's say, 800 confirmed cases worldwide. So it is indeed very rare. So it means many doctors will go their entire career and never see it. Thank God for that. I have never seen this in my clinical practice. I'm not looking for cases of this because I can imagine it would be tragic for the person involved. You are watching it or listening to this on a YouTube channel simply because it's an interesting disease. Good to know about, but hopefully you or your friends and family will never encounter it. So, how do we know that someone has FOP? Here's the wild part. The first sign often appears at birth. Doubly tragic. Most babies with FOP are born with malformed toes, big toes. They're usually bent, shortened, or angled inward. It's often the first red flag before any bones start forming, which makes it medically fascinating, but also biologically poetic, because the disease that eventually restricts the whole body begins in the smallest bones, in the feet, in the toes. After that, symptoms usually roll in during childhood. Painful swelling episodes, flare-ups, stiffness, difficulty moving arms, neck, or back, hard lumps under the skin where the new bone is starting to form, and gradually loss of mobility, ending up in total immobility. Over time, people can develop a second skeleton, locking parts of the body in place. The flare-ups, aka bone manufacturing events, usually feel like pain, local swelling, heat, reduced movement. Doctors used to think this was cancer actually. Then they thought it was aggressive scar tissue. Then medicine collectively went, it is bone in muscles for reasons unknown. Good luck everyone. This is the actual situation. No one really knows what to do with this condition. There is no cure, and even management of the disease is difficult. These flare-ups come and go, but every time one happens, there's a chance new bone forms, and this bone is permanent. You can't exercise it away, you can't stretch it out, you can't reverse it. This isn't just like muscle stiffness. This is like your body installing drywall where your door used to be. It is a catastrophic disease. It doesn't actually mean that your skin turns into stone like a statue. This is not Medusa's curse, if you know about this in Greek mythology. Instead, the bone grows inside soft tissue, creating an internal cage that limits movement. Some of the terrifying but medically fascinating possibilities that occur in this disease is the jaw, for example, locks into place, limiting the ability to eat. The spine can fuse, causing the extreme stiffness of the back. The ribs start to more or less solidify, causing a problem with breathing. The shoulders can freeze, the neck can lose its mobility, hips stiffen, elbows lock. Eventually, some patients can only move their eyes, lips, and the diaphragm, but even that can be limited. So this proves real challenges for doctors who have to manage this condition, not to talk about the suffering that the patient goes through. The one good news here, if there is any good news to be appreciated, the bone that forms doesn't happen in the heart, within the tongue. The smooth muscles, what we call the smooth muscles, are the muscles that are under automatic control, the ones that you cannot move yourself. For example, the muscles around blood vessels, muscles in your gut that aid in digestion by causing the coordinated movements, peristalsis that accompanies digestion, and therefore in the end, as an end point, defecation. So these muscles are spared. So, and of course the muscles around lungs themselves. So this actually means that usually patients can breathe, although if the rib cage becomes stiffened, then that limits the breathing. Patients can usually still speak. For sure, their thoughts are intact. It doesn't cause any kind of psychiatric or disordered thinking. So it's a very, very small win here, but we'll take it. As I said, there are limitations. If the rib cage gets fused, this can affect lung expansion such that even though the patient can breathe, deep breathing is perhaps affected. So, big question coming up, and I know you're bursting to ask this. Can you remove the extra bone? Well, doctors tried this, but it went about as well as you'd expect. Every time surgery was done, the body went into panic mode and even more bone got deposited where the old bone was taken out. So, unfortunately, here the general rule is do not anger the bone gods. No biopsies, no unnecessary surgeries, no intramuscular injections, no rough medical procedures unless absolutely necessary, because anytime you touch the patient, the osteoblasts go into overdrive. And then the body sees the injury and goes, yes, there's been damage, time to build more skeleton. This is bad news for the patient. The mental and emotional reality that the patient faces is simply unrivaled. Imagine waking up gradually losing physical freedom, knowing it's irreversible, knowing movement could accelerate it, feeling pain, having a mind that works, trapped in a body that slowly locks up. The mental strength of people living with FOP is nothing short of extraordinary. Many do finish school, build careers, advocate passionately for research, of course, and live meaningful, joyful lives despite profound physical limitations. Resilience isn't the right word to use here. These people are redefining what strength even means. Strength is even a poor word, poor choice of word here. So, as we know, there is no treatment. But there is a huge news in the medical world of late. In 2023, the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, approved the first ever drug specifically for FOP. It's called Sonohos, and its medical name is palovarotene. It doesn't reverse bone formation, but it helps to reduce volume of new growth during flare-ups. This is massive news. For the first time in history, Patients have something that slows the disease mechanism down. So science has finally showed up to the party, so to speak, in this particular condition, which was previously seen as completely hopeless. What about gene editing? Because it's a single gene mutation, FOP is indeed a prime candidate for gene therapy and targeted molecular drugs, bone growth pathway inhibitors, and precision medicine approaches. In other words, if we're ever going to edit a disease out of existence, this actually has potential. We're not there yet, but I have it on, let's just say, top secret information that we're getting ever closer. Already with this new drug on the market, things are finally speeding up, and I imagine within the next 10 years, maybe even less, we may have some genetic approaches that could be very interesting. Now, it's a very rare disease, but there are notable people who have brought awareness to the condition. Indeed, people who have had the disease in the past. One is Harry Eastlock. I don't know if you've ever heard this name. I hadn't, but his skeleton is studied in medical museums all over the world. Jeannie Pieper, who is the founder of the International FOP Association. Quinn Eastman is also a public advocate for this disease. And Caroline Skinner, who is known in medical education in association with this disease. What I don't know is if she ever suffered from the disease herself, or perhaps a relative or a friend of hers did. So, just to summarize, FOP is a terrifying, fascinating, heartbreaking, and inspiring condition, which, again, as is typical of many of my videos, it reminds us that the human body can glitch in unbelievable ways. The human spirit can endure even more. Medicine still has mysteries to solve. It's by no means a done deal, an open and shut case. It's more of a work in progress. To the FOP community, if any of you is watching this, you are not medical footnotes. You are pioneers, teachers, warriors, and revolutionaries of biology. Medical science is paying attention and finally catching up. Kudos to you. Keep up the good work. Keep the faith. Eventually, my hope, how can I put this? My absolute well-anticipated hope is that a genetic solution is found, because if we can go down to the genetic level, that's where we can strike this disease where it hurts. So my big anticipation for the near future is that a genetic solution is found that can absolutely eradicate this disease in much the same way as diseases like smallpox has been eradicated from the world scene. If you enjoy this video, please like it and share it with anyone who might benefit from the information therein. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more educational and hopefully entertaining medical content. Let's demystify medicine together. Any questions on any medical topic, you know what to do. Askadoc.